Hello everyone. Welcome into my Pink Barn studio. I am Danny Garola, Pink Barn Stamper, coming to you from a beautiful fall Tucson, Arizona. So I am going to look over here. Hello, Miss Frida. Hello, Kimberly. Welcome. I am trying to get us brought up here to make sure all is well. And clearly it is because I can see you guys coming in here. I'm just thrilled that you guys have decided to spend your evenings with me on this fine Monday, September 29th. Okay, we don't need that on. And let's pull this back up. For some reason, Facebook. Oh, there, look. Bingo bango. It worked. Woohoo! That's nice. I like it. Awesome. So if you are watching me live and you see that little red live button there, come in and let me know where you're watching me from. Say hi. Now, if you are watching this on a replay, either over on Facebook or here on YouTube, also comment, let me know where you're watching me from, say hi, or throw me up some thumbs, throw me up some hearts. I love seeing you guys come in. Hello, Lisa. Okay, well, it all looks like that is good. Now, I am using, oh, there we go. That's different. I decided on my computer that I was going to pull up the Facebook app versus just watching myself on Safari like I normally do with Facebook. And it seems to be running a little bit smoother if I do it that way. And of course with YouTube, I just watch YouTube on my Safari. So far so good. So we have had gorgeous weather the last couple of days here in the desert. Ew, seeing my bra straps is probably not cute, right? Oh well. Things could be worse. You could be seeing other things. We don't want to see that. So it has been just beautiful here. We have been in the 80s. And I know for some of you, you're probably thinking, oh my Lord, that is super hot still, because you guys are probably, especially those of you who are more on the east side of the country, you're probably already seeing those beautiful leaves changing colors. Now, we don't necessarily get that here in the desert. I don't have leaves. But you can definitely feel the difference in the air. So on Friday, my mom and I went into town because I had to have another ultrasound on my lymph node, or on my, what are they called? Nodulars on my thyroid, because I have to have an annual checkup of those and make sure that they're not changing and all that kind of stuff. So when we were in town, I was telling her, I go, you know what? I said, I think we're going to splurge today. and I don't splurge often, but I was definitely feeling like a Starbucks pumpkin spice Frappuccino. So it's still warm enough here that Frappuccinos, I mean, it could be any time of the year and I'm still down for a Frappuccino. But as most of you guys know, I'm kind of a cheapskate. I would rather spend my money on my Stampin' Up crafting products than on a bougie coffee. Now, my mom can make some pretty bougie coffees and I'll let her do it for me. But it was just a treat. And I knew I was feeling the pumpkin spice, you know, everything nice kind of feels. So we went through the drive-through and got ourselves these gorgeous, just delicious pumpkin spice Frappuccinos. So first one for the season. It'll probably be the last for the season. I mean, I don't know, if I get in the mood again and I'm feeling kind of froggy and I want to give them my money, then I may have another one. Or as it starts cooling down, I'm always down for their peppermint mocha, what is it called? Not espresso, but it's just a hot coffee, I guess. But it's got peppermint mocha in it. I may have to do that. Another splurge for the year as it starts cooling off. And might I say that it has been so cool that we are getting down in the 60s at night, which is, oh, I love it. So we have been, well, we as meaning me, because my husband's already in bed before I even think about going to bed. But I've been opening up the windows and opening the doors and shutting the AC off. And that girl, that AC, she works wonders for us. She needs a break every once in a while. And you know what? It's so nice to be able to feel that fresh, crisp air just coming in the house and sitting there and knowing that she's getting a break. Because like I said, she does work very hard through the year for us. And so, you know, just like all of us, we need breaks every once in a while. So she is definitely getting her breaks during the evening. And, you know, I normally don't go to bed till roughly between 12, 1 o'clock in the morning. And so by the time the morning comes around, morning for me, so I normally don't get up till probably about 8:30, 9:30, right around in there is typically when I start getting up. But it's still nice enough that it's not, you know, melting, because most of the time by like 6 o'clock in the morning, no way, you have to have that AC going. But it's been, like I said, it's only been in the 80s during the day. So, you know, I'm hoping probably within the next, you know, couple of weeks, we'll be able to just shut her down for the year, or for the rest of the year, and then not have to have that come back on till probably about April, May is normally when we definitely have to have it come back on. So she has done fantastic. We love her. We try to be kind to her, and we change her filters, and we have her checked on a regular basis because that's one thing. When it is 100 and hell degrees here in the desert, you definitely don't want that breaking down. Now, it happens, but it's not a good day when that happens. Trust me. But thank God we now have my parents' house right next door, so if we need to, we can go over there and stay cool there. So that's always a good thing. Alrighty. So I think I'm going to get you guys flipped around. Oh, in another news, let me tell you. So last night, speaking of my husband going to bed and me not going to bed until, you know, like I said, between 12 and 1. And now, not that I don't go to bed until then, because I normally get in bed probably around like 11:30-ish. And then I lay there and I read. I read my Kindle. I'm addicted to well, right now I'm reading his series. So on through Amazon, there is an author that I don't think he actually writes hardcover books or publishes hardcover books. I think they're only the online versions. So it is Blake Pierce is the writer. I love the suspense, murder, thriller, I guess not thriller, but cozy mysteries. I like those kind of books. Now, he has so many series. I'm telling you, this guy writes a new book like every week. It's ridiculous. I don't know how he can write as much as he does. But I am in his series right now. I think I'm on book either 4 or 5 right now. And it is called the Avery Black series. So if you ever have a chance to check them out, I actually just got my mom turned on to them. So she's on book number 2 right now. She's been reading it, and oh God, they're so good. But just saying, that's what I get in bed and I read until about, you know, 12:30, 1 o'clock. So last night I went to go get in bed. And of course, my duty is to take the dogs out before I go to bed because, as you guys know, we are still in the process of potty training a puppy. So that's wonderful. She is doing fabulous, though. She only gets up once in the night, and that's when my husband gets ready to go to work. And he will take her out, and then she sleeps, yeah, pretty much till the whole time until I get up, and then I take her out first thing in the morning. So last night I went to take them out. It was probably about like 11:15-ish. I went to take the dogs out to go for their last potty for the night before it was bedtime. And I went to step out the door. Now my big dog, my big white pit bull, I don't let him go down until I go and I scope the yard out because we have critters. So keep that in mind, critters. So last night I went to take the puppy down. and I walked down 2 steps, and then I was like, oh Lord, back your butt up. So I went back up the stairs, and we have about 5 or 6 stairs till you go down to the ground. A rattlesnake was around the side of my steps. And I was like, oh Lord, go back in the house. So I run back in the house. I wake my husband up, and I was like, okay, rattlesnake, get rid of it. It's got to go. It's in the dog's pen. Like, I can't even take them out to go potty right now. And I want to read. I'm ready to go lay in bed and, kind of relax for the night. So by the time he gets up and comes outside, the snake has now moved itself. Now it's now along the edge of the steps. So you can't see it anymore, because as you go down the steps, there's like a little lip down at the very bottom where the dirt meets the cinder blocks. So you can't see it because it's tucked up underneath there. And this was a big, probably, I would say, probably close to about a 1.5 inches in diameter around. And he was probably about a good 2.5 feet, 3 feet long. So he then, because we couldn't see him, so I was like, where did he go? Where did he go? And my husband goes, he's got to be underneath that step. So we have this little partial, it's like a pad for one of our other chairs that we keep so the dogs don't go back behind the steps. So it's kind of like a little gate-like thing that we have built, barricaded there. Now the snake went behind that and coiled itself up. The first time it had coiled since we've been messing with this stupid thing. Because my husband was trying to shoo it out of the yard so we could at least take the dogs down. And might I say, my big dog has already been bit twice. And I'm pretty sure if he was to get hit again, it would probably kill him. And we're not going there. That's why we check the yards before we even take the dogs out. Because we know that we are in cooler season where this is when the snakes start coming out. They don't like the heat, so they stay underground during then. But when it starts cooling off like this, they come out to say hello. Well, goodbye. So it's coiled up underneath like this little gate thing that we have, this little barricade thing that we have there. So at this point, there's nothing we can do. We can't mess with it because of the angle that it was at. So I told my husband, I go, what the heck am I going to do? So needless to say, we had to call the fire department. So at 11:30 at night, I'm standing outside in my nightgown and some shorts, and we have the fire department come in, and they're the nicest guys. I mean, they were young kids, probably, fresh recruited, but so nice. They did it so professionally. They use this clamper thing, and I'm sure there's probably a technical name for it. I don't know it because it's not my thing. They can keep those to themselves. So they come in, they clamp this snake through the gate, and then yank it up and over the gate. And now by this time, this snake is pissed. I'm telling you, it is rattling like nobody's business. My dog is in the house. He can hear it outside rattling and making that insane, like once you hear that noise, you don't forget it. But he can hear that rattling. So he's in the house just like barking because he thinks that we're being hurt by it. So I'm telling him, it's okay, dude, relax. So needless to say, they put it in their little fancy box that they have, and they drive away with it, and they go let it out somewhere down the road because from what I've understood is that if a snake gets within a certain mileage or whatever from where it's found, it kind of gets lost. So I'm assuming its hole is somewhere around our house that it typically goes into and has been hibernating in. So, of course, they say that once they get relocated like that, they'll normally wind up not living anyways because they don't know where their home is. They can't travel that far, which is sad. But either way, if it was to stay in my yard, we would have had to eliminate it anyways. So I don't know. Maybe it's not true. Maybe they figure it out. But you know what? I don't think I've ever seen the same snake twice. Well, especially if it's, option number 2. But when we have the fire department come and relocate them, I've never seen that same snake come back. And not to say that you know, all snakes are created equal and you could tell them apart because they're not like, hey, my name is Susie over here. But, and you know, that's kind of funny because I go over and I tell my parents, because they were still awake. I said, I go, hey, I'm letting you guys know that the fire department is on their way, because if my mom sees the fire department roll in, she's going to think that something happened to my daughter and she's going to start like losing her business. So I made sure I ran over there and let them know, hey, fire department is coming. I am having them come in and remove a rattlesnake. So my dad goes, oh, do you want me to come mess with it? Do you want me to come move it? And I'm like, no, I don't. That's why I called the fire department, because I don't want you screwing with it. They know what they're doing. And if they get bit, they have antivenom on their trucks. So they know how to take care of it. You, on the other hand, my friend, could be in a very dire situation. So we're not going there. And so he goes, well, wait a minute, that might be my friend. I don't know what he named it, Harold or something like that. He goes, does he have these certain stripes on him? I go, I don't know. I didn't get out my magnifying glass and check this dude out to make sure he wasn't your friend. I was like, no, he just has to go. So if he is your friend, say toodaloo now. So he was so persistent on wanting to come over, and I was like, nope, that's not happening. We pay taxes to have the fire department come and do that. That is part of their job. Unfortunately, they have busy jobs. I get it. And I feel so bad calling them to have them come remove a rattlesnake. But that is part of the service that they provide, you know, with that job. So, all right, you guys. So that is my excitement for the weekend. So hold tight here on YouTube. I'm going to get you guys flipped around so you guys can look at my desk. We've got a couple of promotions to go over, and then we're going to get into the fabulous cards that I have to share with you guys tonight. So hold tight. Now I did move my camera stand around a little bit here, so I'm hoping that our angle is still going to be good. Oh, well, that looks like it's okay. Well, that works. Yep. All right. We're doing it. Oh, look. We have to have our candy corns. Okay, so we've got our good little pile of candy corns here. All righty. So we have got some fantastic promotions. Now, promotions are going to be starting on Wednesday the 1st. I'm just going to say that right offhand. So there are some things that are already going right now. And I'll just let you know kind of the dates so you can like make a mental note of it. Hello, Courtney. Okay, so we have the Make This Season Bright with 12 days of crafting event calendar. Now this event calendar, as you can see here, it has the 12 little windows that you can open up. So I actually ordered that and it actually just came today. So let me, we're gonna open this up together, you guys. So it came in this big box here and it says 12 days of crafting event calendar. So now I have this wonderful box. And then as I'm opening my stuff, I'm like, wait a minute, I didn't order a stamp set. Well, it comes with, as you can see right here, there are 2 different stamps. So this is the stamp set that actually comes with this advent calendar. And as you can see, you've got some sentiments, and you have got some wonderful flowers. You've got a butterfly, a little cupcake here that you can make. These are all occasion sentiments. I absolutely love this. So it is not centered around Christmas projects, just so you're aware of that. We've got miss you, healing hugs, thinking of you, always in my heart, birthday wishes, big thanks for someone extra special, love you, proud of you. So it is going to cover so many of your occasion cards that you are going to be making in this upcoming year. So just wonderful. I was kind of shocked to see that as a separate stamp set because I thought it was actually in this. So this is the advent calendar. Let's get this opened up. I waited and I figured, you know what? I would do the unboxing of this with you guys just so it's kind of a surprise for both of us. Okay, so it opens just like a normal advent calendar does. So you know what, I'm gonna actually set this on my desk behind me, kind of stood up like a book. But then for 12 days, I will be able to come in and open the little things and pull it out. Now, I am going to tell you guys my plans. I do plan on having a 12 days of Christmas crafting event going on. It will be probably over on YouTube just because it's easier to do it there. And then I don't have to record or do anything like that. They already stay because Facebook only holds my videos for 30 days. So I'll probably do it on YouTube, but it'll be not starting until the end of November, and then we'll do 12 consecutive days, and it'll be different kinds of projects. I've already got some written down in mind for my 12 projects, but it'll be different little gift ideas. It'll be like, I think I have a couple of ornaments on there. So it'll be definitely fun to be had, but I think I'm going to save this little 12 days and we will open one each day. I think that might be kind of fun, right? So then it'll be just as exciting. I mean, unless you guys already purchased this, then you're gonna open it whenever you want to. But those of you who don't have that option of purchasing this, which they are still available, just to let you know. So if you wanna join in the fun with us and open these up at the same time, that might be a lot of fun as well. So I'm gonna set that back here on my desk. So those are still available. Code number is 167335, and those are $99. And don't forget, you're gonna get your rewards on that amount, okay? And then starting on Wednesday, we have got the best ever starter kit. This is by far just a wow moment for what they are doing to get some products in your hands. So if you have any sort of Stampin' Up list that you want to get your hands on those products, I'm going to tell you that this is the deal for you. So we've got two options for the month of October for this starter kit. So you can choose $189 worth of products for only $99. Yeah, crazy, right? You're gonna get to choose any products that you want. So that means you can choose items off of the let's say the last chance offer. You can get the stuff that is discounted there. So if you're getting a discount on things, you're going to get even more. If you would like to get maybe one of the big Stampin' Cut and Emboss machines, get it on this deal because you're going to pay only $99 and still be able to add, you know, maybe a stamp set, maybe some stamp pads, some pins, some more stuff included when you purchase that big machine. So if you've been wanting that, this is the time to get it. If that is still not something that is feasible for the pocketbook, because I do know that holidays are coming up, then we've got another wonderful deal for you. So do you see this number right here? Yeah, okay. You can choose $125 worth of product and only pay $35. What? Really? How are they doing this? Like, I mean, come on. But it is all true. And there are no hidden gimmicks. If you only buy the starter kit and never buy another thing, so be it. But you just got either $189 worth or $125 worth of product for $99 or $35. And you can continue to shop with me all you want and never have to do it. But I will let you know that when you get the starter kit, you're gonna now start getting a discount on all of your future products. So there's that. You also will become into a community that is willing to help in any way, shape, or form on any of your upcoming orders that you need help with. You know, if you want to create a business out of it, which you do not absolutely have to do, we call you discount shoppers because guess what? You're getting a discount on already shopping. So it's a win-win. So I'm just saying, put this in the back of your mind. It doesn't start until Wednesday, but I really think you guys should take advantage of this. I have a wonderful team and we've got so much support. We have so many different things going on that you can pick and choose what you want to be a part of. Or if you don't want to be a part of any of it and you just want to get your products for a great deal, then so be it. It's just the way it is. So write this down, keep it in mind, jot it down on your calendar. If you need to know more about this, you can always get a hold of me. My phone number here is over on Facebook, or I believe my email is down in the description below of YouTube. If not, I'll put it down there later, because I think I don't think I have anything in the description at the moment. But when I'm done with this, I will get all that put in there. But yep, you just really need to think about this. Okay, World Card Making Day is happening on October 4th. So that is this Saturday. So you can still get registered for this. Now, unless you were to do like an overnight shipping or express shipping, you probably will not be able to get your kit that you need that is going to be shown in the World Card Making. But I did just get this as well. So it showed up at the perfect time. So let me get this open. This is called the Handmade and Heartfelt Kit. I like the size of this box. It's kind of long. I've not seen any of our boxes shaped like that. So let's see what comes in here. Ooh, a nifty little stamp set with a lot of little sentiments. It says, "Hello, sunshine. Happy birthday. To from wishing you the best, thinking of you, and thanks so much." So some great little sentiments in there. It comes with the Secret C Stampin' Spot. Ooh, there's lots in here. Wow. Fancy. This looks like it's going to be something to build. Maybe there's the picture right there. Oh, look, that's what that is. That is like a little card caddy. That is pretty freaking cool. I didn't even realize it came with that. I saw the cards on the thing, but I really like that. Super cute cards. Now, if you guys like that denim blue color, that Secret C, it also has some of that balmy blue in there. This is gorgeous. So it's going to definitely make all occasion cards. You're going to make the little card caddy so you could organize your cards on, you know, per month with the birthdays that you have coming up, and keep those all right there. Throw some envelopes in there, and then you've got them all perfectly organized. So each month you can just come to it, get your birthday card sent out for the month. So that is wonderful. So just know that even if you purchase this now and don't have it by the 4th, I'm pretty sure this is going to be recorded. So I'm pretty sure they'll give us time that we can get yourself registered though. Registration is free. Typically when you get registered, they're going to send you a link so you can join the virtual event. Now with that virtual event, you are going to get the access after it's over to go back and rewind and slow things down and watch it, because they're moving at a pretty steady pace, because they're in a, you know, time frame to get the event done. A lot of time people get lost in that process. Just know, like I said, it is recorded so you can go back and watch that. Now, I don't know if it's going to be available forever, but it will definitely give you an ample amount of time that if you want to order that kit and you want to join this, even if you don't order the kit, I still highly advise you guys to register for this and watch it. It is very, very fun. Again, that is going to be on August 4th, Saturday. We also have a new thing that Stampin' Up is doing. This is called the Stampin' Up craft class. So as I am doing right now for you guys, I am doing this crafty little class with you, showing you guys how to make some cards. They are actually going to be offering a class starting in October So the live craft class will be October 23rd. Now, how do you sign up for this class? How do you, get anything involved with this class? So what you're going to do is this starts, you can register for this starting on September the 1st of October. And you will go in and you're going to see this when you log in. You're going to see a little window that says the crafting class or craft class by Stampin' Up. There's going to be a registration. I believe it is I think it's either $30 or $35 for the class. Now, this particular class for the October 23rd, it is going to be using the Traditions of Christmas Sweet Collection. So just so you know that that's what it's going to be using. Now, can you use other product? Absolutely. They're going to show you some wonderful layouts for cards. I'm pretty sure if you're a crafter and you've been with Stampin' Up at any amount of time, you probably have something that you could use in place of this. Now, are they going to look exactly the way that they intend them to? No. So if you want them to look just like the Christmas cards that they're going to share with you, then you're definitely going to want to get the Traditions of Christmas. Now, do you have to have the full suite collection? I'm going to say no, but you're definitely going to want the bundle that is with that. Now, I believe there's 2 bundles in there, so maybe you just want the more leaf looking one, but I will tell you that the sentiment one with the labels are fabulous as well. I know my mom has the label ones over at her house. I actually have the more floral one over here. So this is the Christmas greenery. This is what they're going to use. And then here's the dies for it. So this one doesn't have sentiments in it, but then it has a second part bundle that goes with this as well. That actually does have these really neat label shapes for your sentiments. And then comes with a all sentiment stamp. So it might be worth looking into getting that full suite collection and signing up for the class. So the class number, if you want to jot this down, so you'll know what to look for, it is 170073 is what the code number is to purchase the online virtual class. Now, if you want the suite collection, the Traditions of Christmas, now you can either search that or jot down 165877 for that. And it says you can view this later on demand. So again, they're going to send you a code. You're going to be able to log in there. The actual live class is going to be on October 23rd, 2 p.m. Mountain Time. So just so you know that if you want to be in there live and that's when you can chat back and forth, you can do that. Or you can always watch it later on demand. Then we have, I wanted to show you for this, we just started our new quarter for our paper pumpkins. So we have the October paper pumpkin is called the Cozy Christmas. It says create heartfelt Christmas cards with classic charm and flocked accents. Pre-cut paper pieces with soft stitch look flocking. Shiny red sequin embellishments, and then it tells you the colors that it coordinates with: basic beige, cherry cobbler, garden green, pecan pie, and then it's going to come, or pecan pie is what the classic stamp spot is going to be, and then real red. And then it says that the box can be used for packaging and that kind of stuff as gifts. And then I did purchase the Abundant Joy add-on for my 3 kits for this upcoming quarter, because as you can see, they're right here for November and December. So this is really, really neat. Here's kind of a picture that you can see once they've been die cut, all the items that are in with this. I love this little tag right here. This is wonderful for so many upcoming projects, birthday tags that you want to put on gifts. You've got some neat little greenery here, a little flower, and then the word joy. So this is what those look like, just so you can see them. Now there will be a link in the description here on YouTube for the straight direct link to Paper Pumpkin. Now over on Facebook, you can scroll through my page here and you can see those, you know, when you go through and you find that picture of the cozy, what did I say it was called? Cozy Christmas. If you click on that, then it will bring it up in the description and have the link to go in there. So I want to, what am I doing here? Who knows? There we go. That's what I want. Should have done this earlier. Trying to share this. Hello, Noreen, watching over on Facebook. So let me see who is all in here over on YouTube. We've got Lisa, we've got Kimberly, we have got Frida. Let's see, we've got Miss Cheryl in here and Linda and Vicky. I haven't seen Vicky in a while. Hello, hello, my friend. Welcome, you guys. Oh, we've got 2 Lindas in here. So hello, both my Lindas. Welcome, welcome. All right, so I also ordered, you guys know how I used the autumn trees last week, and I didn't have the embellishments because I forgot them on my order. Now, I actually ordered these. They came in today's order. These are called the streaked dots. Now, look how gorgeous these go with those colors. Even if you were to look at this card, oh, gorgeous. Yeah, definitely was something I needed. And then here's that bridge fold. So I could have put a couple of those on there, and I think I might actually add those. But what I really wanted to show you is now we have that beautiful brown, like that gold metallic. It's actually called the Earthen Tone Metallic Specialty Paper. It's this brown metallic. These, oh, I think are delicious with that. Now I'm going to hold these up, and I hope that the camera can give you guys more of the amazing look of these. They almost look like they are marble. They have, oops, I think I'm a little bit too close over on Facebook. I'm like shoving it in your face. So let me come a little bit closer over here on YouTube. Do you guys see that marble? Oh, they almost, not only marble, but they almost look like wood. Maybe that's more of the word that I'm looking for. Oh, beautiful. So those are a must-have for your, you know, masculine cards, your fall cards. Now today I will be using the, where did I put them? I meant to grab them out of here and I didn't. So I do need to find, or did I put them? Oh, I did put them out here. I actually did something right for once. Hot dog, hot diggity dog. Okay, so for today's class, I am featuring the Gathering Moments. Now, this is my free card kit. This is a gift when you shop with me this week and you place an order over $35 or more. So this week I am featuring the, it is the Gathering Together. Now, it is the Gathering Together Suite collection. Now I am using the Gathering Moments bundle. So the stamp set and the dies is the featured bundle. But if you want it all, because I'm that girl that I don't just want the bundle, I like having it all, especially when it comes to something like this. And I'll kind of walk you through some of the reason why you kind of need to have it all. The embossing folder I did use last week on a card. So you can see that I'm using my products not only for what it's intended for, but I'm thinking outside of the box and making those products go even further. So on that little brown branching out frame, I actually used that wonderful, what is this called? This is called the Gathering Leaves embossing folder. And I love the size of this. It is 3D, even though it doesn't say it on any of the packaging. I did figure that out last week. But we're going to be using that as well. So just so you're aware, the reason why I bought this, because as I've said, there's other times where I don't buy full suite collections, but this one I did. So just so you're knowing that this is not in the catalog, this is actually in our online exclusives. So that is where you're going to find that. So you'll have to go into my store to be able to find this actual bundle or suite collection, whatever you're interested in, or maybe you want to look at both. And what does it mean when I say suite collection? Suite collection means that it's where you're going to get the ribbon, the designer series paper, the bling. In this instance, you're going to get the embossing folder included in there. So it's just one code that you put in to get all those products. Instead of having to individually add items to your cart, it's just one big product suite. So I know I get that question all the time. Well, what the heck is a suite collection and why is that a thing? Well, it's to make it easier on you so you can just get it all in one shebang. Okay. Now, where are my finished cards so I can show you guys what we're actually making tonight? Don't pay attention to this mess that's on here because we're going to get it even messier. That's why I didn't put a fresh piece on here. So this is the first card that we're going to be making. This, I'm not sure what the name of this fold is, but as you can see, when you press those together, it lays flat, so you can put that in an envelope. Now, you don't want to push it that way because that won't fit. It has to be pushed together, so it's all going to be the size of your envelope. So there's that one, and then that just stands just like that when your recipient opens that. Then we have this beautiful Cajun craze here, using the leaves and the acorn and this gorgeous paper. Where did I put the paper? This paper has got, this is a specialty paper, so it does have your gold foiling on one side, and then the other side is more of your muted texture there, just so you know. But this has got gorgeous fall leaves, some different textures in here. Let me see if I can find a different one. Look, this one's got some old olive along with your crushed curry, so different colors in there. And then this also in the suite collection has the early espresso and old olive linen thread pack. Now, this came with this thread intentionally, and I'm going to show you why. I'm not going to actually be creating a card tonight doing what this is intended for, but this might be another one of those sets that I do 2 weeks in a row, just because there's kind of a lot to show with this, and in 1 week I can't show it all. But there is card number 2, and then the last card. Oh, I love this card. This card has got so much texture going on. I am in love with it. We've got that great big leaf that are in these dies here, and then I've done that splatter technique with the I used the Gathering Leaves embossing folder. Why I can't remember the name of that, oh, who knows. So we've done that in the background, so just lots and lots of texture. Then you've got the gold on that designer series paper, and then I've also, not only have I added the splattering of the colors, but I also splattered some Wink of Stella on that as well. So we are going to have fun tonight. Let's go ahead and get started on these cards. So this is the way your packet will come. It will come with all 3 envelopes with each one of the cards individually. Cardstock, your designer series paper is in there. So I am going to get out the stuff for card number 1. Anything that is behind your card base is going to be for the inside of your card. Make sure I got everything out of there. Okay, so that is going to go over there because that's going to be the inside of my card, or in this instant, on this card, it's going to be the back side of my card. So on my card base here, we need to do some scoring. Now this is 4 1/4 by 10. We are going to score this at 1/2 inch. Let's move that cutting blade out of the way. So we're gonna do 1/2 inch. We're gonna slide it over. Slide, slide, you feel like you're line dancing. And we are going to do 1 1/2 inch on the score. Then we're gonna slide, slide 3 1/2. And our 4 1/2. Okay, so we've got 4 different score marks. Again, that's 1/2 inch, 1 1/2 inch, 3 1/2 inch, and 4 1/2 inch. Move some of that stuff out of the way over here. So I can actually okay, so now what we're going to do is we are just going to grab our bone folder and start folding these all in. Just like that. So now with these, it is going to create a cute little box, kind of like that. So see how it makes almost like a little column? So that is what that is for. So when our card is closed, just know that it is not even in diameter with the back side of the card. Okay, now we've got some other pieces we've got to bring in here. We have got our other little mechanism, which is this front little mechanism here that gives it that other little column. Okay, we're gonna do that in just a minute. We're gonna go ahead and finish this up here. We've got some designer series papers that need to go on here. This first piece is 7/8 inches by 4 1/8 inch. So when this is closed, that is going to be your furthest little 1 inch. Now, when this is put together, like so, that is going to be on your side over here. So it's going to be on your left-hand side. So let's go ahead and adhere this piece down. Okay, so it's going to leave just a little 1/8 inch. Okay, the next piece that we need, this is going to be 1 7/8 by 4 1/8. And you can decide, this is kind of non-directional, but if I do it like that, see how it matches the leaves over here because of where I've cut it? So I'm going to keep it going that same direction as the other paper, so it just kind of coordinates well. So that one is going to go right like that. Ooh, I think I need to turn the air conditioning down in here. It's kind of chilly. What do I have it set to? Oh, I have it set to 78. So it'll probably kick off here shortly. Okay, so now for that, that is all the paper that I'm going to put on this, because then our mechanism is covering over that. So there's no need to really put a piece here. If you want a piece there, you can. It's going to be the same dimension as this one, but I'm not going to add one there, just so you're aware. Now we're going to look at our next piece. This is a piece of Cajun Craze. This is 3 3/8 by 4 1/8. This piece here, we're going to actually run through the gathering together, or gathering leaves embossing folder. So I'm going to place that in there just like so, and I'm going to run that through the machine. Now, don't forget, 3D means we need to use our specialty plate number 4 when we run this through. It helps if I turn the handle the right way, right? I'm sitting here turning and I'm like, gee, why is it not going through? Well, because you're not turning it the right way. That's why. Goofy. Oh, shoot. My comments were off the page and I couldn't see what you guys were saying. That is awesome news, Linda. Linda is able to get back into her craft room. Woohoo! Perfect timing for all those Christmas cards you have to do, huh? Okay, so now the way this needs to work to get on there in the right position. So when you look at this and this stands back up in the right position, we need to fold this card, but we're going to keep that 1 inch and the 1/2 inch closed, and all you're going to see are those 2 layers of that designer series paper. Okay, remember that you only want to see those 2 when you go to fold this. Now when you open this back up, do not put glue or adhesive on that little 1 inch piece here, because again, that is going to be the side, the right side of your column. We don't want any adhesive on that. We only want adhesive on the little 1/2 inch flap here. So you can use tear and tape, you can use whatever tape you choose. You can use your seal. I think my multi-purpose glue works just fine, but then again, I'm a huge fan of the multi-purpose. Tombow glue, it's kind of my go-to. So when I close that, that's sealing right to the perfect spot that I need it. So when that opens up, it gives me the perfect uniform little rectangle there. You see that? So make sure, again, I'm going to say it one more time because I don't want you guys to come at me that you've wasted paper. So your 2 pieces are the only ones that are going to be visible when you go to adhere this down, besides your back flap, but we're not worried about that right now. We're just worried about this little mechanism. You're only going to apply glue to that little 1/2 inch, not on your other 1 inch. Okay? Now, with this piece here, that Cajun Craze, it is going to fit perfectly with our measurements right in that little section, again, leaving that same little border around the outside. Okay. Oh, shoot. I moved my little thing too far out of the way, dang it. Hello, Jamie. Now, every time I move my little window, it tries to... Shoot. There we go. It tries to collapse the whole thing, and I don't want it collapsed. Well, I guess I'll just have to toggle between the 2 because it is being a booger. A booger. Oh, and of course I lost it. What did I do with it? Ugh, just leave things alone, lady. There it is. Okay, come on, bring it up. There we go. All right, we'll leave it alone. All right, so that is what it is going to look like as far. Now we're going to grab that little piece of early espresso. We're going to do some scoring on this to create that little front panel. So this piece here is a 3x5. We are going to score this at 3.5 and 4.5, 3.5, and slide it over to 4.5. Okay, so that is going to leave us a 1 inch and then another one of those little 1/2 inches. Okay, so now we're going to fold this in and do the same thing with the little 1/2 inch. So now when you look at this, our folds are going to be on our right side versus over here, all of our scoring was on the left side. So now with this little piece here, this is going to actually lay on that. So what we need to do when we go to put that on, we are just going to place this where we want it and then make sure that when we stand that all up, it's going to stay there. So you're going to decide you only want it halfway through this, but you're going to adhere this piece first. So let me do the little 1/2 inch here. Okay, and only on the 1/2 inch, I'm going to lay that flat, making sure I can still see this is going at least halfway over that image when I go to place this down in the center of this card. So that's leaving me roughly about just a little under, maybe 15/16 is where I placed it. You can move it over and do about a 1 inch, but about a 15/16 inch between the edge of the card and where I've placed this. Okay, so now I haven't adhered this side, so this is all just flappy, right? Okay, we're gonna stand this back up to look kind of nice, and then when we have that, it's gonna look like that. So again, we're gonna fold that back down. We're going to grab our glue, and I'm going to only put just a little bit of glue down this side. You can measure if you want to know exactly how far over it's going. I know I'm okay by doing that. And then just push that down, hold it, give it a good tight seal there. Make sure that's all staying down. And then when we pop that back up, it made the exact mechanism we needed. Okay, just one of those little 3D cards. All right, now we have a piece of basic white. We do need a piece of scrap. And we've got some other pieces going on here. Now, this little piece right here, this is 7/8 inch wide by 2 7/8 inch long. This piece is actually going to go right like so. So we can lay that flat again and place this there. This little white piece right here is 3 1/4 by 2 3/4. Now this is going to go right in the center of our little spot here. But I'm going to stamp on that first. And then we've got another piece of designer series paper, but this is a different pattern here. We're using the old olive with those gold stripes to it. This is 1 inch by 3 1/4. Now this is just going to go right down here on this bottom portion. So we're going to glue that right to the bottom of that white piece. Okay, just like that. All right, let me flip my other card around here so I can make sure I'm doing it correctly. And we're gonna get a candy corn. All right, now I need to grab my stamp set. So in the Gathering Moment stamp set, you've got these really pretty, they call them distinctive, because they're almost like a watercolor texture to them when you stamp. So you get a beautiful impression, that realistic look of these leaves, mushroom, acorns. And they also give you 5 different sentiments in this. Many thanks. Your friendship means the world to me. Gather, thankful for you, expressing heartfelt gratitude. So I think I'm going to actually use, let's see what I think. We can turn it, we can go straight with it. I don't know, I think I'm going to be a little different today, and I think I'm going to turn that. And that one is expressing heartfelt gratitude. Okay. So we're going to grab that, and I'm going to use my early espresso. Like I said, I'm just going to put that on an angle. You can choose how you want yours. If you want it straight across, you could do so. I just think it kind of looks kind of neat going sideways like that. Okay, set that over there so we don't make a hot mess. Now, on my scrap, I need to get some blocks here so we can get some other images. We're going to do the big leaf. Okay, so we need this one. So I think I'm going to grab this for that one. We also need this leaf here. If I can get that up off of there. Sometimes the backings of these are very sticky. And then I like this little leaf. And then we're going to do the mushroom. Okay. So hopefully I got a big enough scrap here. I don't know. I guess we'll see, right? Let's grab Old Olive for our first leaf. If not, I've got other scraps laying around. So we're going to do this leaf right here. So see how you get that textured, like realistic leaf look to that? Isn't that beautiful? All right, so that is done in Old Olive. Then we need our, let me see what color this is. I think it's crushed curry. So yep, crushed curry. So crushed curry for this leaf. Okay, and I'm gonna do that one there. Okay. Then we need Cajun Craze. This one. Oh yeah, this is gonna work perfect on here. Okay, there's Cajun. And then our mushroom is going to be in early espresso. So let's bring this back. Ah! Woo-wee! That was close. I thought I got that all over myself. Okay, we're gonna just do that one right like that. Okay, let me move those out of the way here. Let's grab the plates. I'm gonna actually set this right here. Hopefully you guys can see that. Move that up there. There is a gnat flying around in my face, driving me nuts. He wants some of my candy corns and he can take a hike, but he thinks he's going to get a snack. We've had tons of mosquitoes because we've got like puddles because we have had a little bit of rain. Now, very minute amount of rain, let me tell you. But there's still, because the desert floor is just so dry, that water doesn't absorb all too quickly. So sometimes, and we do fill rain barrels. So we have rain barrels out there. And sometimes if I don't get to the water fast enough, using it in the garden and that kind of stuff, sometimes little mosquitoes get in there and we don't want that. So sometimes I have to dump that water out, or I really have to over soak my plants. Okay, so I know this is off screen for you guys, but instead of having to bring it all the way up here, we're just gonna go like this. Okay, that seems to go a little bit quicker. Okay, there's that leaf. Here's our, now I don't call mushrooms mushrooms, I call them dirt rooms or poop rooms because I think they're gross. I can't stand mushrooms. Thank God my family's not all too keen to them as well, because otherwise I'd probably disappoint some people in life because I don't cook with mushrooms. I know I'm crazy, but it's just my thing. At least it's no fight like when we have pizza or anything, because I know how some families are like, no, I want mushrooms on my pizza. Yep, nope, nobody asks for that around here. Now, if we go over to my parents, yes, they do. But I'm like, well, I at least went with onions on it, and I at least went with peppers on it, so we can skip the stupid mushrooms. Because they're gross. And I don't really think they have a taste to them. I think it's more of the texture that they're, I don't know. I think they're kind of slimy, but I'm sure there's other foods out there that I do eat that are probably just as gross to other people. Like my candy corns, for instance. Some people think that I'm psycho or that I'm a little weird, but I'll admit that I'm a little weird. It's okay. My husband thinks candy corns are gross, but I'm like, okay, more for me then. I'm not going to argue with you. And then, so the other night I made s'mores, and he sat there and just went on and on and on about how s'mores are so gross. But guess who ate 3 s'mores? Yep, that guy did. I told him, I go, for somebody who thinks s'mores are gross, you sure did get down on those. He's like, well, they were actually pretty good like that. Because I don't go outside, because we were going to go outside and get the fire going, but then I can't stand the smell of my clothes after you've been outside around a fire. Especially getting in bed. And I was like, okay, I'm not taking a shower tonight. And so I told him, I go, I'm just going to do s'mores in the air fryer and we'll just call it good. So he's like, they're going to turn out like nasty in the air fryer. I'm like, all right, then more for me then. Well, needless to say, he liked them. Okay, so we are going to now use some of this linen, what do they call it? The Early Espresso Old Olive linen thread. So I'm going to use, I think I'm going to stick with the, I mean, either color would go get good, but I think since we've got this right here, the Old Olive, I think we're going to stick with the Early Espresso. But the intent for these that came with this is, as you can see with these great big leaves that you get here, it's kind of like that tree that I showed you guys last week in that featured class, that there is an inside piece that has these little details to it, and then you've got the actual outline of the leaf. Now, in this instant, you can cut the leaf out, which you're going to see me do on my last card. I'm just going to use the outline. I'm not going to use these detailed parts. But when you use them together, you're going to get a leaf that has all these, ooh, see, there's that little gnat right there. You're going to get a detailed leaf that has all these little holes in it. Now, they look really tiny on here, but once you cut them, they're actually decently large, where you can use like a darning needle or a embroidery needle, and you can thread this, and you can actually stitch the seam or the line of the leaves so they look like it's the veins of the leaves on this. So I think that's why I was thinking that I might do another class next week so I can actually show you how that is done, because I am not doing that today. But just so you guys can get an idea of how this works as well. So with this leaf, I'm just going to put this about right like so, hanging off that. So it hangs off just a little bit. We're gonna grab some of our mini dimensionals here. We're gonna pop up this yellow leaf. Okay, that one's gonna go about like so. Okay, this one we're going to do the same thing, put a couple of dimensionals on it. Now I'm not taking the dimensionals all the way down to the bottom because if this has any kind of overhang like that, I don't want any sticky on the back of that. So I'm kind of doing that on purpose. Okay, I'm going to bring this one more straight down like so. And then with my thread here, I'm just gonna pull some of this up and straighten it, tie a bow. Okay, let me grab the ribbon scissors. Now just know that when you place your order with me and you get this kit with me this week, I do include your length of ribbon that you need on any of the cards that I use ribbon. The only things that I do not include is I do not include any stamped images. I don't do the die cuts for like this because it would be too hard for you to stamp on. So you would need this featured stamp set and dies to create this as I'm showing you. Now I will go ahead and emboss your piece of paper just in case you can't do the whole suite collection. I will have that pre-embossed for you when I mail that to you, so it will have that texture on there. But any stamped images and the dyed images that go with this set, you will have to do that on your own, just so I'm completely transparent with you. Okay, so with that, I'm going to grab just a little dot of glue, dot, 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 not a lot. Put some dots of glue down there. And then I'm gonna take this ribbon and put this right down in between there. Just give that a good press so that kind of just adheres to that glue. Now I've got some long little danglies here. We can either choose to leave those or take them off. Now where'd my mushroom go? Oh, there he is. Okay, I'm going to grab that right there. Actually, you know what? I think I might need a mini dimensional because I don't know if that, oh, okay, I guess it is gonna stay. I thought it was going to try to lift up off of there. Okay, let's take that. Let's take our little mushroom here. Just kind of place that right over the top of that. Give her a bow, a little smush. So we have that up there. And that is what that's gonna look like. And then we're gonna adhere that right to that center. So I guess maybe now that I'm looking at this, I think when you go to put this piece on, you actually want to line this up with this edge when you have that folded, because if you don't go in far enough and this hangs over, this will not fit into an envelope. I got very lucky. Mine's barely hanging over, but my leaf is hanging over too much. So when I was to fold this card, this would not fit into an envelope. I would actually need to pick this leaf up. So this is a good thing that I'm showing you. I'm kind of glad this happened so I can actually spin this and bring this down. There we go. So there is a method of when you're adding this second brown piece. You've got your little 1/2 inch, you've got your 1 inch, and then you've got the big panel here. Make sure when you have that folded out, you actually line up this little panel right here, and you have your glue just on your 1/2 inch. You line that up to the back of the card back here at the base. Okay, because then I think that's what will then, but don't adhere this side until you have that little 1/2 inch down. And so that's where I said that there was probably a 15/16. I think you need a full inch in between here to make sure this doesn't hang over. Okay, does that make sense to you guys? All right, so there is that. Now, you know how I was trying to put those embellishments on last week's cards, and I told you they just didn't look right because they were the pecan, or no, these are the Cajun Craze dots, and they just didn't look good on these color cards. Well, because they weren't intended to. They were actually intended to go with this set. So, like I said, I messed up, but these Cajun Craze are beautiful. Now, I don't think we've ever had a Cajun Craze bling. So to have this color is just wonderful, especially with your fall cards that you're creating right now. So let's go ahead. What the heck is that? Oh, that's the cord to my phone. I'm going to add one there, one there. Then let's grab one of the big ones. And where do we want it? Where, oh, where? Let's put it right up here. There we go. So there, so when you turn this, you can see the side over here and the side over here. Now again, if you wanted to put a piece there, you could, but because this covers it, I don't think it's necessary. But isn't that a fantastic card? So let's go ahead and put our other piece. Oh, I could have swore I had a piece cut for this. Maybe I didn't. Who knows? Oh, maybe it's inside of my envelope because I know that happens. But I could have swore I checked my envelope. Okay. So let me get a piece cut for this. What color do I want? I think maybe I'm going to do the, I want green. Let's see. Let's see if a strip of green would look good on the back of that. Yep, that'll look really good actually. So let's cut off a 1/2 inch of this. And we're going to cut that down to 5 1/4. Okay, let's grab our pieces back again. We're going to put this across the bottom of our white layer. Now, even though this is not the inside of the card, because this card doesn't technically have an inside, but that's just kind of what I labeled it as. It actually is going to go on the back side of our card. So when they flip it around, this is where you're going to write to your person. Let me see what other stamps kind of go together with that. We have expressing heartfelt gratitude. Your friendship means the world to me. Gather. Thankful for you. Many thanks. I think I'm going to actually just leave it blank. I'm not going to stamp anything on there because, well, you know what? I could do many thanks or thankful for you because we're gratitude. Or I don't know. We're just going to leave it blank for now. So this is now going to go on the back of this card, like so. Now you can come in here and you can stamp another little mushroom. You can stamp one of your, you know, yellow leaves, maybe with one of the Cajun leaves. on there. You know, you can do quite a few different things on the back of that. Just depends on, again, the hard thing is because I don't know who this is being mailed to and what I need it for, is sometimes when I add too many of those leaf things, then I don't have enough to write on there, depending on who it's going to. Now, if I knew who it was going to and if I knew what I needed to write, then I would kind of get the idea of how much space I would have. So, you know, that's where you've got to gauge your card insides. Try to make them pretty though, because they do, you know, represent that card. So I think that card turned out just beautiful. I love that little fun fold. It lays flat to go in your envelope. And then you've got plenty of space in the back to write to your recipient. Okay, so that is card number uno. And then let's get the stuff out to make card number two. So card number two is kind of a quickie. And sometimes we all like quickies. Okay, so here's the inside. See, I cut an inside for that card. All right, so here is our card base. We are going to score this. Now this is 8.5 by 5.5. We're going to score this at 4.25. Hello, Joe. Welcome. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and fold that and give that a good crease there. Now I've got a couple of different layers here. Let me get my measurements. So I've got this first designer series paper. This one is going to be 2 3/4 by 4.5. We're going to lay that right there. So I'm not going to adhere it yet until I get my placement. My next piece is 2 1/4 by 4. And that's going to go like that. So this is just a really easy little layout, but I think it really makes a beautiful card. Okay, so if we look at it like that, yep, okay. So we're going to go ahead and put this right on the card base. Now this paper here, this is more leaves, but it does not have any of the old olive or any of the yellow in it. This paper is strictly the basic beige, the Cajun Craze, and early espresso in this one, but you do have that beautiful gold foiling in there. Okay, this one we're going to put right over here, and I've got a glue booger here that keeps sticking and hiccuping on my card. Okay, watching both of the tops of that designer series paper to make sure I am making that even. Now, I don't get the ruler out and measure and do all that because that's just not my jam. I don't have patience for that. We just eyeball it around here. And I think that was a good eyeball. Okay, our next piece that we need, oh, that gnat needs to die, but he won't. He just keeps on going and going. We have a piece of early espresso. This is 2 1/4 by 2 1/2. So with this, we have options. We can leave it more of the longer way, or we can turn it and go more of the longer way this way. So you can decide whatever sentiment you're going to put on there is how you're going to determine which way you want this piece to be on there. So if I was to look at a couple of my sentiments here, I do have some pretty long, like if I was to look at this one, your friendship means the world to me. It's definitely not going to go that way, right? Oh, it's sticky. It's not going to go that way, but it might actually fit. Nope, it's not going to fit that way either. Okay, well, there's that. We have many thanks. Let's check it out. I don't know if it's going to work. Or we do have gather. Gather might work. So again, we can, ooh, see, that one would work if we did many thanks. But if I was to turn it, here, let me put this behind here. So the little designer series paper, and so it's got the foiled part on the back side, and we use the more muted side. This is 2 by 2 1/4, so this is going to go right on like that. So this one will not work if we have it more of the portrait style, but if I go the more of the landscape style, it will actually work that way. Or we could use, I think I'm going to use Gather. I like that big boldness of that. Yep, we're going to go with Gather. We're going to do it. Commitment is rough. Rough. Okay, or, hey, you know what? We can do that same thing and we can kind of turn it again. Am I just in a slanted kind of mood or what? Yeah, see, we could do it like that. Or we can just go straight. We can just keep it straight and go. So again, like I said, you can decide however you want that to look. I think I'm going to keep it this way because that does fit pretty gravy right there. Now, before I adhere that, I'm going to go ahead and stamp this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my Versamark. I'm going to grab my little powder buddy thingy here. I don't know what's in that. Maybe cornstarch. I have no idea. But it works. So we're going to just lightly coat that on our piece of Designer Series paper. And using Versamark, we're going to stamp Gather on here, trying to be as straight as possible, since I'm not going to go slanted. There we go. So when I look at that from an angle, I can see the sticky of that stamp. Now I'm going to grab my gold embossing powder, since we've got gold foiling going on in this. Okay, voila. Oops, let's do it just a little bit more on that E. Perfect. Okay, where'd my lid go? All right. Let's grab the tweezers. Where are they at? There they are. So I'm going to grab that up and grab the heat tool and get this embossed. See, that would have been a good time since I wasn't talking, which is a very rare occasion for me to eat a candy corn. I blew my opportunity. Do you see there? Okay, we are gonna now oh my goodness, I keep doing that. Dang it. Urgh. Okay, we're going to place this right in the center of that. Okay, like so. Then we need our little scrap of paper here. And we are kind of going to use those same leaves, but this time, instead of using the dirt room, I'm going to grab my acorn. Right there. But I need to clean some of these because I'm going to change the colors up just a bit. Why is that sitting there? Okay, so we're going to, oops, I didn't mean to grab that because that is not needed right now. Okay, that one. And that one. Okay, so this is where we might need a bigger scrap because I really kind of didn't think about that. All right, so now I need pretty much the same colors again. We're gonna need Early Espresso, Cajun Crate. Okay, yep, that's it right there. So let's go ahead and stamp this little one here. So we're doing that one in the Old Olive. Then in Cajun Craze, we're doing the big leaf. Yep, definitely need another piece. And then, let me lean over here. Oh, look, there's a scrap right there. Voila. Then, ooh, we need crushed curry in this one. And then our acorn is going in Early Espresso. Bada bing. See, and see when you get that edge on there, it's okay. Especially since we've got dies. Because the die is now going to cut that out where we won't even see the boo-boo. So let's grab our dies again. If I can figure out where I put them. Yep, there they are. Sitting there waiting for me. Okay, let's grab this. And we are going to come in here and do the big leaf here in our Cajun. So it's kind of neat to see these leaves in different colors, especially because, like I said, they're that distinctive style that just to see how realistic they look in the different colors. And I love when they do our leaves like this. Okay, so those two are gonna sit there. Let's grab a little bit more of my low tack tape. I'm gonna do this leaf here. Okay, and our acorn. So see, it's nowhere near the oops. Okay, now we're going to run her through. And again, you guys probably can't see this, but I am right here. Snap, crackle, pop. Okay, there's that one. Oh, come on, let me have it. That one. Okay, there's that. All right, I'm gonna just tuck these in here because I'm not gonna keep positioning those back on there when we're gonna keep using them. But I'm gonna make sure they get down in there so I don't lose anything. Because that happens. I have dropped dies on the floor, even at one of my classes that I did, one of my in-person classes when I was doing it down at the VFW, which, did I tell you guys that the VFW right up the road that I used to work at actually burned down a couple weeks ago. It was the most saddest thing ever because I know how hard they have worked to keep that place up and going, and it literally burnt. And it didn't like burn to the ground burnt, but I mean, it is not, they have to redo everything in it. I guess one of the electrical things in the kitchen caught on fire, or a CG XYZ, I don't know, one of those CGIFs or FCIGs or whatever that electrical plug thingy doohickey thingy is, was old and faulty. And since the building is very, very old and dated, nobody caught on to it, and I think that was the culprit. I don't know, they were still waiting for the insurance or not the insurance, but the, what is it called? Not appraiser. Yeah, words are tough, but inspector maybe is what it's called. Fire inspector. This damn net is going to drive me bananas. It just landed in my face, and that is not okay. Now you're crossing territory you shouldn't. All right, so we're going to go like that. And now just wrapping that around a couple of times. So yeah, so I will definitely not be having any classes there anytime soon. But again, back to my story, because I'm very all over the place. I threw one of my dies away, and they have this big like industrial garbage can thing. So it was so crazy when I was like digging through the garbage can. And you know, at a bar, there's lots of like beer bottles, gross soda, all sorts of stuff that get thrown in the garbage cans. So yeah, it was kind of like needle in a haystack, but thank God it was a day that was super slow for them. And we had a class in there, so it was just the few of us that were there, that it wound up not being like a gross day. So I really got super lucky, and I couldn't believe that I found it. It was on the very, very bottom of the black bag in the garbage. So, I mean, I guess they can say miracles can't happen, but I was like, I don't want to have to buy this whole die set just for that one. But it was a really neat die that you definitely wanted in that set. So it was kind of a miracle that I found it. Okay, so now I'm going to take these leaves and I'm going to put these on here. So I'm just doing glue on this side here because that's the only part that is going to be being attached, because we don't want to cover up any of our words, so it's just going to go on the edge. Okay, but actually, I think it's going to be better if I go ahead and put this on this card so I know how low can I go. Let's get these off. And we're going to go just like that. Okay. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, I love the gold embossing on that as well. Okay, so again, I'm going to come over here, but you know what I just noticed is I need a dimensional over here because that's kind of just hanging a little off of there too much that we need a lift. It's doing kind of like what us girls do when we get older. Things are sagging. There we go. No more sag. It's like we put a fresh bra on her. Okay, now we're going to go here and again put a small dimensional there now that I know that the whole bottom is going to hang off. Put some glue on the top. Okay, this one is going to go right up. Now we can tuck that underneath if we want. Kind of like, nope, maybe not. Let's go right there. Okay. This one, again, grabbing one of those mini dimensionals. I'm just going to pop that right there because I know it's going to touch that. Put some glue on. Ooh. Okay, well, why don't we just stick everything to it? Because that's the way we roll. And that one, right like that. And then our little acorn is again going to get a little mini put on there. But we're going to slide it between the green, just like that. Give those good pushes, and we are good. And there is another beautiful, but more simple. And see that linen thread? It just goes so perfectly with the colors of this. And those leaves, I mean, you can put those on there however the little arrangement you want them. If you want them going up and down, you can do whatever. They work. like that. Okay, so let's take, again, with this designer series paper, I have a 1/2 inch strip here. We're gonna put this on the bottom of our inside. Okay, where did I put my stamp set? Oh, there it is. So gather, your friendship means the world to me. Many thanks, expressing. I think what I'm gonna do though is I do want to stick my finger in that. I do want an old olive in here because we have some of that old olive on the front. So I am going to take this one, put it down here, put it up over here, and then right down here. There we go. And then I think I'm going to do Your Friendship Means the World to Me because we have not used that one yet. And we want to gather. Oh, that block is about haggard. So we're not going to use that one. That was a block from many, many moons ago. And so we're going to put that there. And I think we're going to go ahead and stamp that in. Let's do it in Early Espresso, because our card is Cajun. And did you guys see what I did? Oh, look. I did what I wanted to do, but whew, I almost blew that one. But I think I'm gonna actually turn it that way. So before I really, were you guys like yelling at me? Where you're like, wait a minute, that doesn't go that way. Actually, I did want it going that way. So it wasn't quite a mistake, but I almost stamped the wrong way. I think I either want that strip on the inside or do I want it on the outside? That strip is a little bit crooked, but oh well, we're gonna go with it. I think we're gonna go like that. So I almost stamped the wrong way. I almost stamped like that. Did you guys see me measuring for that? Ooh, girl, get it together. Beautiful. Bada bing, bada bing. Okay. Now I cannot pick this up because I know it's not going to let me without ripping it. Ah, oh well. That's what makes it a personalized handmade card, right? Is our little bit of mistakes, but those mistakes are made with love. Because when you go and you buy a perfect card at Hallmark, that's when you know that they're not so personal because they're perfect. So there we go. I really like that strip going that way though. And that green in there just gives it enough added color from the outside to take that onto the inside. So gorgeous, gorgeous. So that is card number 2. Okay, let's move my sample out of the way. Move that out of the way. Okay, card number 3, the show banger, showstopper. Okay, let's grab our goodies here. Make sure we got everything. Set that there. Okay, oops, there's the inside of our card, so let's not lose any of that. Oh, wait a minute. Ooh, yeah, we did. I was gonna say, I don't think I put bling on there, but I did. We need to score this. This is 8.5 by 5.5. We're gonna score this at 4 1/4. Now this is basic beige. This is one of our newer colors. Beautiful. Okay, so this is going to be landscape style. We then need a 4 by 5 1/4 piece of basic beige. We're going to be using the Gathering Leaves embossing folder. Now on my last card, I had the leaves going vertical. or horizontal, I mean. I think this time I'm gonna have them. I'm going vertical. So I'm gonna run it through like that, so then the leaves are going up. Okay. Look at that texture on that. Ooh, gorgeous. Okay, so there's that. That's going to get adhered right on there like so. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that right on there. And I am going a little bit heavier on the glue because this does have all those indents in it. We want to make sure that that is going to get a good adhesion on that. Give that a good press to seal that down. Okay, there is that. So look at those leaves. Aren't those neat? So here, let me show you on this one. See how I had the leaves running horizontal? This time I had them go vertical. Okay, there's that. Okay, our next piece that we're going to need is we have our little Cajun Craze piece here. Cajun Craze is 2 3/4 by 4. And then our designer series paper is 2.5 by 3 3/4. So now look at this designer series paper. This has still got that leaf texture and I mean the gold texture to it, but it has got a basic beige background versus the white background. So it goes really great on your basic beige cards because the background is beige. So I'm going to take that and adhere that right down. Okay, that's going to now get adhered right to the center of our card base. Again, just eyeballing that for the center. Okay, now I have got a larger scrap. I can tell you the measurement of it, but you just kind of need a big scrap. This is a 4 by 4 1/4. Size matters a little bit just because you need to be able to fit your big die on there. Now, this, I'm going to be showing you guys the big leaf, but I'm not going to be doing the inside. I'm just going to be using the, throwing things around like they don't even matter. Oh, let's take these off of here. Okay. Where did the, oh, it's already down in there. Okay, that'll work. So I'm using this, just the outline of this big maple leaf, and I'm gonna put that on there and we're gonna just cut that out. Like so. So yeah, see, that size works perfect. But whatever big scrap of early espresso you have will work just fine. Okay, so now you can actually keep this for other projects. And again, because I was thinking that I might do this for, again, another round of this particular set, I might want to keep this because I'm thinking that I want to use the reverse for something. So I'm going to hang on to that. So what we're going to do with this is I'm going to grab my spritzer. Now I need to make sure this one has, I need to have these marked. I say that, but then don't do it. Ooh, see, that one's got rubbing. That one's got rubbing alcohol in it. That's not the one that I wanted. Whew, why could I never grab the right one? Dang. Wow. Ooh, see, that one's got it. Man, why do I have so many? Oh, because look, they're over here waiting for me. They're like, hello, we're full of water. Oh, yeah, see, that's got water in it. Okay. Now that I'm little loopy. So I'm going to be using my Stampin' Spritzer. This just has water in it. And I'm just going to lightly kind of spray that off. Where did you get your containers for your embossing folders? This is called Snapware. I think these came in a package from, I think, Costco. I think Costco had a big, like, they came in multiple sizes, because I've also got, oh dang, I've also got like this one that I use. So yeah, they came in a package of different sizes and colors. And now that I'm throwing things around. Okay, so we have this sprayed. So I'm just going to, you know, not being like forceful where I'm gonna rip it, but I'm going to crunch this up. Just like our leaves that we find, well, I mean, maybe you guys have leaves, but I don't. But I do remember leaves. I remember the sounds when the kids would play in them. We would rake them up and then we would jump inside of the pile, or we would throw the leaves all up again and then, of course, make more work for ourselves because then we were raking again. But hey, you know what? Those were memories. All right, so then we're going to kind of just unfold it, not where it's flat, but we're going to unfold it so then we can see that it is a leaf again. So the reason why I sprayed it, because you're probably like, well, what the heck did you spray it for then? Because it gives it a little bit more elasticity. So it's not so crunchy, because our cardstock is pretty thick. And so to make it, give it more of that like leathery, more wrinkle look to it, it just turns out a lot better when you do water. Oh, that's so weird. I just looked outside. I'm not used to it being dark so early. So I looked outside and I'm like, what the heck? But it's because we're in fall that it gets dark so much earlier. That was weird. I'm used to it being nice and bright outside at this time. Okay, so that's what our leaf is going to look like. Isn't that kind of cool? All right, so with that, we are going to then take our leaf. Oh, that's why I had this out. I'm just going to take, now I'm not going to put too much on there, but just in some of the spots, because I want some of those leaves to curl up. I want that effect of a real leaf. So just a couple of stripes of the seal. And my seal wants to be a turd right now, but that's okay. And then we're gonna take this with some of those wrinkly spots, and I'm just gonna turn this just like so we can still see those colors underneath there of that designer paper. Just give that a little push on some of those, and then you can come in and you can crinkle that paper up again to give it that realistic flip. You know, you can fiddle with it, okay? So that's that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece of basic beige. Again, this time only grabbing crushed curry and Cajun. So my big leaf, we already stamped Cajun last time. So I'm going to stamp Cajun again in the big leaf, like so. And then in this sleeve, we're gonna use that in the crushed curry again, so I don't have to worry about cleaning those off. Okay, just like so. We are going to die cut those out on my little strip. Now this is, I think this is 3 what is that? That is 3/8 of an inch. And so what I'm gonna do on that is I'm going to grab my Thankful for You, this little smaller sentiment here. And in Early Espresso, hopefully you guys aren't getting the top of my head, but I need to be able to see what I'm doing here. Okay, there's that. All right, and then I need my scissors. I'm just going to snip off a little bit on this side because we don't need that full length. And then I'm gonna flag this. So I'm gonna cut a little bit shorter. And then going up the center, I'm just gonna make a little bit of a cut. And then from corner to center, just cutting that little flagged look on that, just like so. So there's my little flag banner. All right, let's grab our dies to die cut these out. Oops, that's not even the right leaf. This is the leaf that I want. So with this one, I like that it kind of mutes the color a little bit when you do it on the basic beige. It just kind of tones it down just a hair and gives it more of that rustic look to it. Okay, let's run these through and have these. Hello, Bonnie. You will definitely have to watch the replay. You're gonna love these cards. Okay, I'm gonna set this over here so I don't lose those dies because I'll wind up tossing that piece of paper and I'll have my dies stuck to it. Okay, so now what we're gonna do next is I'm gonna grab, since we don't have any green going on in this card, I'm gonna actually grab my piece of, or my Early Espresso one. So with this leaf here, I'm going to pop this up with a dimensional on the back. Like that. I'm gonna just do 2 of them there. And we're gonna put that one going right like that. This one we're gonna pop up again. I'm gonna go ahead and do 2, might as well. This one is gonna go right like so. And then with our little banner, we're gonna take that, let's straighten this up a little bit. Whew. Okay, let's not throw our stuff. So with this, I'm gonna take my seal and just put a piece across there, and then now grabbing my Early Espresso, just pull that to hold that so it doesn't get so curly. And then I'm just gonna take it and place it on there like that. And then again, make another bow like that. I can pull that down a little bit. And if I don't want it so crazy, I can always take these in and push them more closer together. Same with this one. Pull it, because it's not like definitively stuck. You can still pull through the seal. Then you can move those ends wherever you want them and then kind of just pull. If one doesn't look quite symmetrical, you can just kind of move it around, okay? Just like so. And then we're gonna grab dimensionals. Actually, I only want one dimensional and it's gonna be on the flag because the other part is going to adhere over that. So let me put just a little bit more seal down here. Pull that off there. And now this is gonna go right over the center of our leaves. Just like, whoops, let's get it straight though so we don't look like we're drunk. Okay, just like that. Now, here comes the magic moment, but I need to clean some stuff up because this part, that's why I waited for this card to the end, because this is a hot mess, but it is well worth the hot mess. So let me just move some of this out of the way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab, this is part of our Naturals Stampin' blends. Now this one is number SU100. I'm gonna set that there. I'm also going to grab my, well, where is it? Did I move it? Oh, nope, it flopped. I've got two Wink of Stellas. One is almost on its last legs, so I'm gonna have to see which one it is. Okay, so we need our Wink of Stella. I'm gonna move this up just a little bit. This one we need, and I'm also going to grab the Cajun Craze. Okay, so I'm going to take this, and I'm gonna use the more brush tip side, and then I'm gonna take this, and I'm just going to flick. And see how it's adding those little flick marks on there? And then before I'm done, I'm going to swoop up that paint that gets stuck in that lid. Let's flick a couple more times. Okay, like that. See, I got that gnat bugger. Then with my Cajun Craze, same thing. With that tip, I'm just going to flick, 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 flick. Okay, just like that. And then with my Wink of Stella, oops, that's not the right one. I'm going to use my bone folder. And with this one, I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna flick. Now that's adding some shimmer and shine, and yeah, it's going everywhere, but hey, it's sparkly, so I don't care. And you can go as heavy with that or as light. I mean, you do you. Lid. Okay, there's the lid for that. Oops. Let's put those in there the correct way so we don't dump those out. And then when we are done, that's got to dry a minute. Then you get the most gorgeous little splashes. See how you get those little flick marks on there? It makes it have that rustic, distressed look to it. Not sure if you guys can see. I'm trying to grab the Wink of Stella. Oh, there you can see it. I'm a little too close to Facebook, but over on YouTube, you can see that Wink of Stella. Let's see if I can grab it on this camera. There we go. See the Wink of Stella? Isn't that gorgeous? Oh, just enough distress. If you guys have ever watched Tim Holtz, he's a little too distressed for me, but he has got some beautiful items that he distresses that just look gorgeous. He's got a whole line of distressed inks that they sell. I think it's by Ranger, but oh God, he can make anything look like that grungy, distressed look that just, I mean, certain things look really good that way. Now I wouldn't like everything like that, but you get the drift. So let's do the inside of this card. So I'm going to move that out of the way and see, and that's exactly why I said I'm not going to put a new mat down, because we're going to keep making messes. Some people do it in a box. If you just have an old Stampin' Up box laying around, you can put the sides up and just kind of tape the sides and set it down inside of there and do your distressing in there. Then you're not getting, you know, a mess. But I don't really mind messes. It's just the way it is. It's a part of crafting. Okay, there's that. Thankful for you. And then I think we're going to do... what did I do? Thankful for you. Your friendship means the world to me. There it is. Okay. Here it is. We already did that in brown, and that's or brown. Early espresso. Brown, early espresso, same thing. Oh, wait a minute. That's not even the right one. Ooh-wee. Let's just go like that. That's not the one we wanted. We want your friendship means the world to me. Now, the one thing I did notice about this particular stamp set is it has a lot of red rubber around the edge, like a lot. So when I go to ink this, do you see that I have ink all along this? Now, some people would come in and cut that red rubber off. I'm not good at doing that, so I'm too afraid that I'm going to wind up, you know, doing something wrong and hit my stamp. Or give it a rough, ragged looking edge. So I just leave it be. But again, it's one of those things that even though I like that red rubber, it just looks pretty like more of the rustic stamps. I'm really, really excited about Stampin' Up doing the switch over to the photopolymer because of things like this. Because if I was to rock that stamp at all, I would have screwed up the whole inside of my card because of this right here. You don't get that when you're using photopolymer. Unless you're to really rock the heck out of it, then I guess you potentially could, and you would really have to smash that stamp into your ink. But just my whole thought on yeah, on going to the switch over a photopolymer. I'm not sad. I guess that's what I should say. Okay, I'm going to take this big leaf and I'm going to stamp it right there. And that was again in Cajun Craze. Okay. Now we're going to put this in the inside of our card. We're going to see if we want some of those Cajun bling on there, or are we just good with the Wink of Stella? Okay, so there's the inside. Now, here are those Cajun Craze little blingies. What do you guys think? They do have gold flakes in it, so it does look really good with the gold. But do you think we need to just put a couple of these on there? You know what? Let's do it. Oh, look. I did it on my other card, and I like where I placed those. So let's do the same thing. I do like them. So we're going to do one there, like I have it. One right over there. And then a big one right up. Whoops. The other big one right there. Yep, that looks good like that. All right, so there are what those look like. Isn't that so cool? Oh, love that. All right, you guys. So head over to my online store, shopdannygorola.com, and add this wonderful bundle or suite collection to your order. And as a thank you, I will be sending you this kit to create these 3 fantastic, right here, look at there, these 3 fantastic fall cards featuring the gathering moments. So what do you guys think? Are you digging this set? Fantastic, right? As always, you guys, thank you so much for spending your evening with me. I so appreciate you all. I hope you're in the fall mood and you're ready for fall projects. Create, craft, and spread kindness. That is my new motto. I really was looking, I've been taking a class that one of our other demonstrators is putting on, and she said that we need to have a motto. So I've been kind of playing around, and I've always talked about, you know, like with my kids and everything, that you know, especially when they were younger, it was always the, hey, kill them with kindness. And I know we've all heard that, but it really rings true, especially in the world that we live in nowadays. And it's tough watching my kids kind of go through the process of some of the bad things that happen in the world. And but I never let them forget that you still need to share your kindness, because it really goes a long way when it comes to other people. So I was like, that has to be part of my motto. So I was like, okay, create, craft, and spread kindness. What more do you need, right? All right, you guys, have a wonderful, wonderful week. I don't think hubby is going to be live with me on Friday, or I don't think we are going to be live on Friday for cards and cocktails and cards, because he has an event he has to go to at the casino here and demo a couple of products that he has in his online store. And so he has to do a demo for that game. But don't forget, make sure you guys have it written down that that starter kit starts on Wednesday the 1st, and that we have new kits coming out on Wednesday the 1st too. I got only a little sneak peek of them today in one of my training classes, but I can't wait to see what they are, especially since there's going to be 3 of them this time. All right, you guys, have a fabulous rest of your week. Be careful out there. Again, spread kindness, and I will see you soon. Bye.